No, there's no tests at the end of the show. Well, anyway, I'm Brian Holloway. Thank you very much for coming this evening, taking time out of your evening to come hear about our project. Before I do start, though, I wanted to see, is anybody here by the name of Justin Brewer, by any chance? Because we found a piece of mail out on the walkway coming in, so I'll give it back to the school principal. So just a couple things again. I'm Brian Holloway. I am the sort of planner, organizer of the neighborhood meeting and advocate for the project. And Scott Gibson is the architect over here, so he can answer any detailed questions you have about the project. And this is my son. He's our technical person here, running the Zoom and sending me any questions that we may get on from the Zoom meeting. So this is kind of a new format for me. And also, if you're on Zoom, folks, should know that this is being recorded. So if anybody wants to hear this presentation again, I believe you can go into Zoom and hear it, or I can send it to you. We'll figure out how that works. But it is being recorded, so just wanted everybody to know. Some housekeeping matters. There's restrooms out the door and to the left. We have refreshments for everybody, as you already know. And if you could just, and that reminds me, turn your cell phones to silent, that would be great. We'd appreciate that. And what we'll do is just, I'm going to do a quick presentation about the project, and then we'll just jump into questions and answers and go from there. So I guess the thing that we're talking about is basically across Highway 12 from the school, kind of kitty corner to the west, a big vacant property, and this will be a Tractor Supply farm and home retail store. Anybody familiar with Tractor Supply? It is my favorite store. It is really cool. It has all kinds of things. When you go in, you will be amazed that they have dog food, horse tack. You can buy, certain times of year, you can buy little baby chickens and ducks, equipment for your yard, materials for your yard. If you have a farm, all kinds of farm equipment. Really, I think it's a really fun store. So it'll be about a 19,000 square foot store. It's a big box. And then they have two additional buildings. One is a feed storage building, which I've never seen before. And also a 1,200 square foot forage shed. I don't know what's in there.
It's like alfalfa.
Oh, okay, like horse and cattle feed kind of thing. Okay, so if you add up all the square footage, it's about 22,000 square feet. So it's a pretty big building. The property is zoned CMU, commercial mixed use. So this project fits in with the commercial portion of it. One driveway you will come in from Highway 12, and the other driveway will come in from Sunset Avenue, where there's another kind of a shopping center. There'll be an entrance through the shopping center to this site. So it'll be two ways in and out. In terms of parking, we're looking at 94 on-site parking spaces, and that meets city code. And there'll be van pool and clean air parking and EV charging stalls. That's something that we're seeing more of. And of course, they will have bike racks for those that want to bike to the store, including employees. Hours of operation, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and then 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday. So we will be going to the Planning Commission for a conditional use permit for the retail store, architectural review, site plan and design, which is pretty common now for most any kind of development project. They want to see what it's going to look like, how does it lay on the land, what's the landscaping like, how does the parking orient around it, how is it walkable to the neighborhood, those kinds of things. And then also a tentative parcel map, which will split some of the excess property off for future development. We're looking at an opening date of summer next year, And we think this is something that, apparently I learned today that Suisun City does not have a Home Depot or a Lowe's, and you will now have a Tractor Supply. You have an Ace Hardware, right? And what's interesting, Tractor Supply really would not be much of a competitor to an Ace Hardware. Sell, you know, some of the same things, but not much of the same thing. So that'll be good for, I think it'll be good business for Ace Hardware as well. So Scott is the architect. You want to talk a little bit about
I can add a little bit to it.
the materials? And
well, we could do a few more
thank you.
features of the store. We do have propane out there, so they'll have a propane dispenser.
Why don't you come up here and then you can be seen on the Zoom.
So we're going to have, we also have trailer parking. So when you come through with your vehicle with the trailer, you can pick up fencing and other kinds of materials. There's parking is a diagonal parking made for easy pull through for trailers. The building, I don't know if everybody's had a chance to take a look at the architectural elevations, but there's a lot of earthy tones. It's a Tractor Supply. You know, the Tractor Supply uses the newest model of a big garden center also. Large garden center that was there for the forage shed. There's also a separate forage shed out in the middle area. That outside is a nice landscape with lots of shade structures there, and especially on a day like today, it'll be nice and cool there. They do sell trailers, different types of farm equipment, riding lawnmowers and small tractors, and also like little mule type UTV service machinery and stuff. The building is going to be a split face concrete block facade on it, on the fronts and sides, and with metal roofs, and they're very attractive. It's a program that Tractor Supply has been doing. This is actually our third Tractor Supply we've done. We've done ones in Eureka and Susanville, and both were very successful projects for those towns, and especially given the kind of ranching properties you had around there. I know there's a lot of farm property around here and a lot of great agricultural products around this area. We're from Reno, actually, and when we come here, we always buy fruits and vegetables here because they're better than we can get in Nevada. But I'm here to answer any questions. We've done poll reports, environmental reports, air quality, gases, pollution, storm drainage, and been working closely with the city on all the on-site water detention and all the proper materials. And this can be a great project for the city and hopefully a great contributor to the local community.
Any questions for Scott? Yes. Yes.
I don't know if this pertains to architecture, but I understand you're going to have feed storage. And as you said that, I was thinking, we have lots of raccoons, opossums, and rats. How do you mitigate keeping those things out?
Well, I don't know how you keep, the rats are pretty hard to keep out, but the raccoons, there'll be a chain link fence in the outdoor sales areas. And then most of the feed product is inside. The only thing that's really out there is hays and alfalfas and stuff in the food shed. Everything else is inside the store. So it'll be a brand new building, and certainly no raccoons will get in. And hopefully we'll build it tight enough so there won't be rats in there also, but I'm sure they'll have a abatement program.
You'll notice as you go down to different shopping centers and stores, you'll see rat stations around the edge of the buildings. So that's one way that they'll probably deal with it.
I'll look for that when I'm out again.
But there won't be any loose seeds or anything outside. It will be all that's inside the store. They build stores all over the country. The Tractor Supply headquarters are in Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee.
Chester, I'm not picking you up again, asshole.
Every possible problem in farming you can think of that they've dealt with. They're really a buttoned up.
Keeps cutting out, so I can tell.
Get back for their training seminars, and they're very great company and great first act, classy act.
Question in the back.
Yeah, I had a couple of questions, but I wanted to touch on what she was saying. I've lived in Suisun quite a long time, and every time they go to put in a new building, it seems that stirring up the dirt, mice come out of the ground and they head into the neighborhood. I'm going to assume that they will be looking into
Good question.
when they're doing construction, not after they're open, but during construction, stir them up and, they just scatter throughout the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, and a lot of times it actually kills a lot when they're doing the construction, because they're scraping the earth and stuff, and a lot of times they get killed. They do move out and whatnot.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I know, every time a farmer plows a field, it kills quite a few mice and other soil and other animals also.
And you had a second question.
Yes, you had mentioned, and I didn't get a chance to look at the pictures yet, is that taking up all the empty lot, or are you
No.
just taking the majority of the empty lot?
Just a portion. I'll bring over a overall site plan. It'll show you the gas. It shows the gas stations, and I'll bring it over to you. I think everybody's had a chance to review this. So this shows the whole property. So this is the main drive between the two gas stations. This is Highway 12 out here, and it's this area back here.
Oh,
So
okay.
So all this is future
Yeah, I
development.
thought you guys were gonna be able to take up that, but you're just taking up this
Yeah.
initial
Easterly end.
section right there.
Yeah, the easterly end.
Yeah, the room we needed for on-site water detention, for stormwater detention, and also to, get all the truck movements and trash removal and everything in there to make it function properly. But yeah, it's just a small portion of the property, kind of the southeast corner
Okay.
of that.
Along with that, there is, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of farmers coming in from the Rio Vista area
Oh, yeah.
to be able to get supplies and stuff, and that's totally understandable. Their easiest access is just as they come down Highway 12, they make a right turn into that driveway between the two gas stations, and there they are. Getting back on Highway 12 to go the other direction, it's kind of a,
They're gonna probably go westbound out to the
out to
street.
Sunset,
Yeah.
but that road, you can't make a left turn onto Sunset. You gotta make a right turn and then a U-turn and then another left turn to get on Highway 12. And that's not showing that in that picture, but it's not the easiest thing to get from this shopping center back on the highway, back to Rio Vista. Anyway, just questions to ask.
I can't
Yeah,
speak for.
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Sure.
a good comment. And sometimes, hopefully, they have other places to go to shopping in town. Hopefully, they're doing it might,
Yeah.
it might work in there.
Well, and the other option is to come out the same entrance and then go up to the light at Sunset and 12, and then they have to make a U-turn to head back. And
makes
that'll
sense.
probably be the easiest, unless they're a big truck.
Yeah. But we do have 40-foot long stalls in there for tractor or trailer, for pickups with trailers. And that kind of stuff
Okay.
in there. That's what these diagonal ones are.
Okay.
So there's
Oh, I
there's
see that,
six drive-throughs there.
Okay. And then you mentioned the building was a concrete. Is it a masonry cinder block or is it a tilt-up?
Concrete, masonry split face concrete block.
Oh, okay.
So it's a rustic.
Split face is the rough edge, it's not like smooth.
It's two blocks, they have a knife
Yeah.
comes down, splits them, and creates an irregular,
Yeah.
rough,
And Scott,
shadowy, yeah.
why don't you walk, because we've got electronic visitors, why don't we, if you wouldn't mind walking us through the graphics? And while you're doing that, I have a comment from one of our Zoom guests. And the question, or actually, it's not a question, just a reminder that the product offerings at Tractor Supply, roughly 50% of the products are pet food, pet supply, sporting goods, clothing, and seasonal products. Tractor Supply sells TVs and UTVs and is very different than an Ace Hardware, Lowe's, or Home Depot.
That's
That
absolutely
was kind of the point I was trying to make, but they made it better.
And not paints and not, not wood products.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't you walk us through the graphics?
Well, this is the colored site plan here that shows all the tree canopies. When we go through the site, we meet and exceed the city requirement for shade and for green space, the amount of green space on this property. It's got a great local flavor of indigenous type of plants that will grow well and thrive here in this microclimate.
Can you talk a little bit about the retention basin and what that'll look like?
It'll be a landscaped area that's a swell. It's just basically a swell where it holds water and retards the flow of water into the storm drainage system. It basically meters it and instead of it all flowing right out into the city infrastructure, it holds it for a while and then slowly drains it out into the.
It looks like it'll function as a big landscape strip next to Highway 12.
Yeah, it's a huge landscape strip, and then we also have some more detention back here and actually some more detention in this area
Great.
as well.
Okay.
Over here. This is the facade. This is the front of the building. These are corrugated metal canopies out here in the front of these gray areas. This is concrete split face block with the signature red and white and black signage and the red accents on there. Gooseneck lights over the sign. Automatic doors at the front entrance, large storefront system. This whole front facade is a corrugated metal look. Then we have an outdoor garden center, which is a large, basically a greenhouse area out here that has glass roofs. And this is the outdoor sales area out here where we'll have the forage shed out there in that. And then this is the side of the building. This is the west side of the building. This is the back of the building with the delivery doors and the storefront doors going. Sorry, this is the here. This outdoor sales yard. Customers can come in, drive through, pick up their products, and then leave through the back here. And basically, it's a pull through situation. And the
Okay. Question?
We're not hearing all of it.
Oh, you're not hearing all of it?
No, all of
Okay.
what he's saying.
Okay, so maybe you could speak louder?
So I was explaining to Brian that the outdoor sales yard has a pull through drive through on it. So you come through and you want to have your purchases bought, and you can have loaded up in this drive through area, and then escape back through the back of the building. So you drive through and they load up your bags of dog food, your feed, if you bring a trailer and you're buying cattle fencing or whatever it might be, chain link fence and chicken wire, whatever they loaded up, bales of hay.
Okay, all right.
Load up back there, I mean, there may be employees back there to help you load the.
Yeah, there's employees in this outdoor yard that will assist you or load your equipment on your vehicle for you. And then you just drive through the back and leave back here.
Okay, well, we'll move on down.
And there is quite a bit of outdoor sales areas here that have riding lawnmowers and barbecues and the different things they sell out here. And then they have a trailer display down here along the highway. That's a permanent outdoor trailer display. And then there's the propane areas here, and you could come in and drop off your tanks and get them filled up, and then they'll load them for you.
Okay.
And we were just talking about the front of the building facade. This is all concrete block. It's got a wainscot on the bottom area, darker wainscot color than the main body. And the canopy shed roofs on the front are corrugated, like a corrugated metal, like a galvanized metal color. So it's very farm looking, kind of aquarium type of a look with it, with gooseneck lamps over the sign, and then a large storefront system with automatic doors. The entrance doors are automatic doors. And then we have an large outdoor garden center here with glass roofs on them, and they're quite attractive. Open sort of railroad style truss system out there. And then we have the outdoor sales yard this is the gate that opens up during the day, and that's where the customers can drive through to that outdoor yard there. This is the west side of the building with this, and there'll be other developments over here. This is the side that faces into the outdoor sales yard with automatic doors that lead from the sales area out onto the garden center. Other automatic doors that lead out into the outdoor yards, the outdoor sales yard, where you'll get your heavier pieces of equipment and stuff out there. And then this is back here. This is called the mercenary area, and that's where they have all the bulk dog food and bulk horse feed and salt blocks and feeders and different things back there. They even sell kayaks in these stores, so got those. And this is the back of the store, which is the roll-up delivery door, the man door back here. And this is the back of the drive-through gate from this outdoor sales yard. And this is just the whole yard that's fenced in back there with everything.
Want to go to the next one?
Well, and then we have also the small forage shed, which is just a small sort of a utility type building that has the alfalfas and the hays, and maybe some stuff you put in the bottom of the stalls. I can't remember the name of it. It's the parcel map here. We're on this parcel here. Parcel number 1 is where the Tractor Supply is. There'll be cross reciprocal access across parcels 8, 7, and 6 that lead out to Highway 12 and also over to Sunset. There's a plan for a total of 8 parcels on this property. And then we just have the overall site plan that shows the various parcels, and with the a little bit cleaner site plan that shows the architectural with the parcels flanked by the existing gas stations. So that's
Okay.
about it.
All right. Thank you, Scott.
You're welcome.
Oh, I have another question. Let's see, from Sherry, it's hard to see the picture. What direction is the building in regards to the houses on Widgeon? And what would be up against the fence? How tall is the building? I think I'm gonna move the Zoom back over there.
The main building body is 20 feet tall, and the entrance facade is 28 feet tall.
And what direction is the building in regards to the houses on Widgeon?
I'm not sure where Widgeon is, but the building
To the right.
The building entrance faces west towards Sunset. The back of the building faces towards Widgeon, and there will be also a 6-foot zoning fence along the east property line back there.
So according to the site plan, if Widgeon is over here, then you've got this wide drive aisle and a landscape.
Actually, that's not Virginia is like across the top.
Oh, across the top?
The other side of the post office.
Oh, right here, these residences back
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah, so it actually doesn't affect Virginia whatsoever. The only residence I think it would affect would be just those half a dozen or so houses on Snow Drive, which is on the right side, right where your notepad is
Okay.
pointing.
So-
That actually backs up right to those houses on Snow Drive.
Right.
So we have just a dead end area here to basically turn the truck around. And we have a widened landscape area that's about 3 times as wide as what's required by code, just to sort of mitigate that connection to the residential behind. And then we have a 10-foot landscape strip along the.
So it'll be a
east side.
vacant parcel between the Tractor Supply and the neighborhood.
And this will be
to
a
the north.
permanent detention area. There will never be anything built here along
Okay.
along these. And then we don't know what's going to happen here next. That's a whole nother topic. That has not been designed, and we do not know the tenant.
Okay, then another question was, I think the question about traffic and exiting the store is an important one and needs to be seriously addressed. Sunset and Highway 12 are a hot spot for accidents.
There's a traffic report that addresses that. That's not my area of expertise.
Okay, so what we could maybe do is put the traffic study on the city website.
Yeah, we should list all
Yeah,
the
we can do
environmental
that.
reports.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
I need clarification in that explanation. I'm on Snow Drive,
okay.
so I will be right there. So I want to know if something's going to abut against my fence, or if there's going to be a distance between my fence and
Where's Snow Drive?
it would be right behind
To, right here?
the second gas station
The second gas station's way over here.
on this side,
Oh, this side.
here.
Could you point on the site plan where your home is?
Could you give us an idea where, you want to point on the map where about you are
Well,
located?
Here's a plan that shows the gas stations and the everything.
So where is this?
Here's the 2 gas stations.
Okay, so I'm behind this second gas station. My property is behind there.
No, this is the whole gas station right here.
Here's Snow Drive right here.
Oh, okay.
So you probably live in one of these houses
Yep,
here. In
so,
fact,
I'm,
it has your names on it.
Well, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Is that you right
How'd
there?
you get that private information?
Well,
All right.
it's been a
That's
public
county
record.
record,
Well,
yeah.
this is the parcel map, so it has to
Oh,
show the
okay.
legal owners. So this will only be to back a truck up in. There's a 10-foot landscaping here, and then a 6-foot masonry fence that will be built along this property line. So it'll be a very sturdy, strong fence, and then we'll have a very thick, and if you look at the landscape plan, which is the very first one.
Yeah, let's go over the
it's
landscape
very-
plan.
It's gonna be very intense, the amount of landscaping along this residential area. And then we've actually widened this end piece here, which is right next year. So this will be, I think it's about 12, 14 feet of landscaping. No, it's more than that, it's almost 20 feet of landscaping. This is about 10 feet of landscaping there.
So currently, there's a sound wall along here, along Highway 12 for the residents. You're saying it's probably going to, you're going to extend a
Turn the
sound
wall,
wall?
yeah, we have to run it along the residential, so to go, well, this property will be built at some other date, so it'll go to here. Our project will build it to here, and then the next project will take off and.
Yeah.
Okay, so instead of that
If you
wooden
look over
fence
here, I
behind
think
your
this
place,
shows it better. So you've got the masonry wall, and then the landscaping corridor, and then you've got this big drive aisle that separates you, which you're up here, from the store.
Okay, so from where I am to the beginning, how wide is that?
10 feet.
10 feet? Not much, but, okay. All right,
Okay?
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other questions from the audience? That's fine.
You said that there was a detention
That's what we're here
pit
for.
water?
Yeah.
Was that city mandated?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it won't be full of water, only during storms.
yes,
yeah.
yes.
It just holds the water and sort of retards it to going into the rest of the storm drain system.
I understand how it works. It's just Suisun's kind of a
Wet area.
mosquito land base.
It will
So
not
if
be
you have
a-
any kind of water standing, it's gonna be,
No, it'll be dry except for storms.
The water doesn't stay there very long. It just allows it to meter out so it doesn't flood downstream.
Oh, okay.
So
So
it's like got a
not
pipe and then it just,
storage, it's just a,
like almost for
Basically,
a
think
day.
about, instead of a big pipe, it's got a smaller pipe that just slows it down, and so it's not all rushing out and overwhelming the storm drain
So
system.
typically the water is backed up there for what, a day?
Maybe.
Yeah, so you wouldn't get,
oh, yeah, you wouldn't get the
Yeah.
mosquito
It
population.
just
Okay.
all goes away, and it might be wet for a day or two also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be landscaped, so it'll.
okay.
That whole area was flood real bad. So the city was very active in the storm drainage thing, and that's probably why they're very adamant about making sure that storm waters continue to drain out.
Exactly. Oh, you gotta be right, California, messing up with stormwater. Any other questions?
Okay, sure. Well, I was here a little bit earlier, tonight. I don't know if it's an approved project or is being approved.
Well, this is the first meeting, we're gonna be going to, planning commission, and we're getting architecture review and, a use permit and a tentative parcel map. So this is just a neighborhood meeting, just to, introduce yourselves to everybody to the project, to meet you guys, hear any questions or comments that we need to be aware of, before moving on. It's like a courtesy. Nothing's started yet. This is the very first thing we've done, so.
Well, because I'm a business owner. I own a feed store, and it's about 4 blocks away from there.
A feed store?
So it's kind of, I own George's Feed and Pet Supply here in Suisun, and it's around the corner from there. And I was just, checking up what's going on.
Well, they do more than feed. I mean, they definitely have a lot more than feed, and, I'm sure you have hopefully have a great clientele, but, they do other things. They have, they sell little chickens and ducklings, and,
That's the same range, same everything.
Okay, then,
Chickens, ducks, dog food, cat food, alfalfa, hay, everything, anything related to a farm. So it's an identical store, an identical, but I'm not a chain. I'm an individual. I'm just myself. I'm one person, you know. So I heard it through a customer today, you know. That's why I was late. A customer came up and he goes, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Because are you supposed to be in a meeting? And I'm like, "What kind of meeting? You know, hey, what's going on?" But well, you're supposed to be downtown Suisun, you know, checking out there, having this meeting about building a tractor supply down the street. And I'm like, well, I'm a business. I've never heard nothing of it. I haven't heard from anybody, or I mean, so I'm gonna.
Well, the city required, I think, everybody within 600 feet. We had no.
Yeah,
okay,
right, yeah,
So
so we,
I'm not within 600 feet, but
Yeah.
I'm about, like I said, you know.
so
within-
before it goes to planning commission, then there'll be a public notice about the planning commission hearing in the newspaper. And before it goes, if it ends up at council or at planning commission, then the city will re-notify typically everybody within 600 feet of that hearing at the planning commission. If you, you've signed you signed the roster, the sign-in sheet?
No, not
Oh,
right now,
please
no.
sign into the sign-in sheet, and that way we can make sure that the city will notify you of the planning commission hearing. That's one of the reasons we do this meeting tonight, is make sure as many people as possible know about the project. They can sign in, and then you'll get further notice of any further hearings or other meetings. Okay?
Yeah, I'll sign it.
But be sure and sign in.
Sure.
Okay.
You'll be able to speak to the commissioners. This is just to really let the neighbors know about what's going on and get their feedback and just make sure we're addressing concerns for the neighborhood and everything. This tenant wants to be a good neighbor and, you know,
Oh, okay.
going to tell you about. The gas station, not like another gas station, that happens all the time, and, you know, we just need to address that with the city council.
I have one more question. I don't know, this may not be appropriate for your meeting, some of the details probably are not. But right now, I have all kinds of stuff that rolls in from the trash from Taco Bell and McDonald's and so on into my backyard. So I'm wondering how the garbage will be handled for this project.
Well, it's gonna be a professional maintained, volunteers there every week, maintaining the property. So they'll be picking up stuff, and then they'll have all the store personnel. I know these stores, they're kept very clean. They have to because of, you know, rodents and whatnot, and all that stuff also. It will probably be better, because right now you're just next to a field, whatever. I'm from Nevada, so we have stuff blowing all over the place there. In fact, I don't need a weed eater or weed blower anymore.
Maybe the stuff will blow in you.
Probably will, yeah. But I think it'll be cleaner and a little more maintained for sure. You'll have a good neighbor there, you know, so there'll be a lot of good stuff. And you know, just because of the new codes and stuff, there won't be harsh lights going into there'll be security lighting there. Any lights, the code doesn't allow us to have any lights going into your property or anything, so you won't have any glare or direct glare coming into the property.
Okay, and we had one more Zoom comment, which was, I don't know who this is from, but it says, I think the reason the turnout tonight is low for the meeting here and online on Zoom is because of the time of the meeting and it being during the week. Suisun City is a bedroom community and its citizens work outside the area as well as the county itself. I would strongly recommend a weekend, Saturday or Sunday meeting that would allow more citizens to join that live in the area. I don't believe the project is a problem, but the timing of the meeting doesn't fit with most people as they are still on Highway 80 trying to get home at this time of day. It's a good point.
Well, I might add to that, I only got a letter on the 29th, and I was like, oh, this is really quick, I don't have time to research or anything, so that might also be part of it.
Right, and one of the things that delays, normally, we send the mailing out 2 weeks in advance, but the city requires a certified mailing, which delays the process of the mailing, and so that's one of the reasons that I think the mail landed late.
Did the city actually mail them?
No, we did.
Oh, you did, okay.
And I think the city, I talked to the city planner, and between the cost and the delay and the hassle factor of doing certified mailing to more than 200 people, they're actually gonna look at the idea of what's called a verified mailing, which would be that the developer or someone related to the developer would do the actual mailing, and then an independent person would say, I saw the mail go in the mailbox and it went out 2 weeks ahead. So I think that kind of verified mailing will speed things up in the future.
Well, that's actually interesting, because most cities require that the developer provide the letter, self-addressed stamped envelopes, then they mail it, that way they know that it's, you know.
Right,
so-
yeah, exactly, they know it's done.
Yeah.
So, any more questions from the live audience? Any more Zoom questions?
Two from the Zoom. How is this going to affect property values?
Oh, how is it gonna affect property values? I think it would be an improvement for property values. Typically, a nice retail project near the neighborhood is an attraction to residents, and it kind of eliminates the question of what's gonna happen in that big vacant lot down the street.
So the thing is, it will definitely help the values of the property, but the property has always been zoned commercial. So when people bought the homes, they know it was zoned commercial.
Yeah.
So it isn't a surprise zoning. So that's one good thing. It's not, oh my God, we thought it would be residential or a golf course here, now it's a tractor supply. So it is a conforming use, and so it doesn't change it, it probably enhances it because it's improvements, and it will reduce stormwater issues and
Yes.
trash.
And we got one last question. How many jobs?
I think it's around 90 jobs in total.
About 90.
With all the different schedules and
Right,
stuff, yeah.
part-time, full-time,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Permanent, yeah.
Okay, any more, last question, last chance from the live audience? Last chance from our electronic guests? Any last chats for questions?
Give them a second because I have to type it.
See, something's coming?
Well, they might need a moment to type.
Okay, so in the meantime, again, thank you all for coming. And how about a nice round of applause for our principal who gave us the meeting hall tonight and got here early and stayed with us to make sure the room was open and we got the meeting done. So thank you, Principal Joey, really appreciate you being here.
There will be more opportunities to revisit this with the different
Right.
discretionary meetings going on.
And please grab some cookies and sodas and waters on your way out.
Clean us out, please.
Yeah. All right. Last question? I think we're done. All right. Thank you, everybody.
We'll see you again. We'll see you all.
Thank you, Zoom guests.
They really are a great tenant and a nice company, and they really hire very wholesome people too.